Are you real? Is life actually an illusion? Are you really a hologram? Are you just perceiving that you exist but you actually don't? These are the sort of things that are being taught by people like David Icke and other New Agers at the moment. And they're going full out to convince everyone that we are just some kind of an illusion based upon a vibrating matrix of infinite consciousness, and that atoms don't exist and that solid objects don't exist, and we're just perceiving these things. Before I go any further, would you like to just go over to the door, open the door, put your finger in there and just give it a little press, you know, and see whether or not it hurts? Perhaps you'd like to, no, don't slam the door, don't, because you'd end up down in the hospital. Okay, so we know that we feel pain. But David Icke is actually preaching that you are just perceiving it. It's not real. Yeah, well, when your finger's hanging off and you're down the hospital, while you're down there, tell them how you've done it, and explain to them that, you know, nothing is real, you're not real, they're not real, and you're not actually there, okay? And at that time is when they will make a phone call to the social services and to the psychiatric unit, and they will come along and take you into this other room and speak to you for a bit longer, very kindly, yeah, and you'll find that something will happen which you might think you're imagining, and that is that you'll be sectioned for your own good and for everyone else's, because you're a danger to yourself and you're a danger to other people. And this is the point here that I'm going to get to here. If someone is trying to convince you that you are not real and that other people are not real, that means that you can, as Aleister Crowley said, do as thou will, anything that you like, because it's not real. It's an illusion. It's a hallucination. Like, for instance, taking things like LSD, where people take that and think they can fly, and then they find out that they can't. Well, they find out they can't if they're lucky, because they also die from jumping off of buildings, apart from just getting injured. So taking drugs takes you out of reality. Hypnosis also takes you out of reality, and there's many ways to hypnotise people. It is actually illegal in the UK to broadcast hypnosis, as far as I understand, you know, subliminal messages and that, but it seems to be done. Now, the thing is, let's take a look at another New Age preaching, because it is preaching about things not being real, and the way that it's being done, and what I consider here to be hypnosis. There's this video here called Ancient Knowledge, Part 1, Consciousness, Sacred Geometry, Somatics, Illusion of Reality. Sacred Geometry, is that not Masonic? Pagan? It is, isn't it? So what's being taught here is pagan and Masonic and New Age. Now, let's just have a listen to this. But before I do, hang on, I just want to put you straight on a couple of things here. Two things, okay? And that is parapsychology, which is what this is, okay? And what those words mean. And also what the words Antichrist mean, okay? So, we've got parapsychology. Most of the English language is made up of Greek, okay? So, parapsychology is three Greek words. Para, psychologia, all right? So, para means instead of. So basically it means instead of psychology, all right? So instead of psyche, we say psycho, you know, psyche, which means your soul, and logia, which means logic and the learning of, okay? So you've got instead of the learning of the soul, instead of logic, yeah? And the word, for instance, Antichrist. Well, you think that's someone that's against Jesus Christ, for instance, and you say the Antichrist, you know, the main guy, which we know is Apollyon, the destroyer. But what do the words mean? Well, let's say them in Greek. Antichristos. Christos means Christ. Andi means instead of, like bara, that means instead of, and andi means instead of. So Antichrist means instead of Christ. David Icke, for instance, has been telling us for a long time that he is the Son of God, and then he went on to say that he had received the Christ Spirit, yeah, and then he went on to say that Jesus Christ and Apollyon the Destroyer are the same person. What hogwash can that be? Because in the book of Revelation, Jesus Christ exposes Apollyon the Destroyer. So therefore they cannot be the same person, because it would be like you robbing a bank and putting up a YouTube video about it. Hey, look what I done. Yeah, of course, you know, it's ridiculous, isn't it? So, okay, so that's not the same person. So an Antichrist means instead of Christ. So remember, like David Icke said that he's the Son of God, which infers Jesus. He then went on to say he's received the Christ Spirit, and then said that Jesus Christ and Apollyon are the same person. So that's not so. So we've got Apollyon, who is the Antichrist, the instead of Christ, yeah, who's going to come back because he's immortal. And we've got David Icke claiming that he's received that spirit. And what he's talking about is that reality, you know, it's not real, that everything's based upon vibrations. We're all a hologram, and we imagine pain, really. Well, when I bumped into him in Hyde Park, he wouldn't have it that the holographic aliens projected me there in order that we could talk, and he got quite angry. And I got this feeling, which I have to say here is my own personal feeling, that he wanted to punch me. But anyway, let's just move on now. So I stood back from him, but anyway, let's move on and listen to this, which is talking about the same stuff that David Icke is talking about. All right, so let's just have a quick listen to this nonsense.
I want you to listen. Then what? Share it. With whoever you share with, whoever you know, the people you're close to.
Okay, so what he wants you to do is he wants you to listen, and he wants you to share it with people you're close to, etc. Okay, isn't that what David Icke does, by the way? He puts on everything that he that he posts on his website, share it far and wide, yeah? And he wants you to listen to him, obviously. But this guy's saying he wants you to listen and he wants you to share it. And of course we've got sacred geometry here, which is pagan and is Masonic. So let's just carry on and listen to what's being said there. So they're telling you now they want you to listen and they want you to share it. Okay, let's hear it.
Tonight's talk is consciousness, creativity, and the brain.
Stop. Before we allow this to carry on, let's just notice two things. First of all, there is music in the background, which is the same kind of music that you can hear on hypnosis tapes, such as Stop Smoking and stuff like that, which is all new age and has got all these funny graphics on it. And also, that first thing we've got here is what? It looks like a sun, doesn't it? You know, and Apollyon is the sun god. So let's just carry on.
And if you have a golf ball sized consciousness, when you read a book, you'll have a golf ball size understanding.
Right, so if you have got a golf ball sized brain, when you read a book, you're going to have a golf ball sized understanding. Says this guy, and of course there's that lovely twinkly music going on in the background, which just came after a nice big sun representation, which is Apollyon, the destroyer.
When you look out, a golf ball size awareness, and when you wake up in the morning, a golf ball size wakefulness.
So you've got a golf ball sized awareness now, and when you wake up in the morning you've got a golf ball sized awareness. Really? And what would that be? That you've got to get up and go to work or whatever it is you've got to do? Well, those are the things that you have to do. Has that got anything to do with having a golf ball sized brain? No, it's got to do with necessity of living, because you know you're sane and you know that you've got to go to work, you've got to get some money, you've got to feed your family and stuff like that. But here, so far, you've got a golf ball sized brain. Try and remember that, in other words, that you're stupid.
But if you could expand that consciousness, then you read the book, more understanding. You look out, more awareness, and when you wake up, more wakefulness. It's consciousness. And there's an ocean of pure, vibrant consciousness inside each one of us.
Okay, so it's vibrant, it's vibration in other words, and it's pure consciousness, and it's inside each one of us. Okay, so if we've got that, and we've got this golf ball sized brain, for instance, and we've got this vibrational consciousness, that would mean, of course, that we must be real, even if we've got a golf ball sized brain and we've got this golf ball sized consciousness. That still means that we are real, even if what he's saying is so, which it's not. But let's carry on.
And it's right at the source and base of mind, right at the source of thought, and it's also at the source of all matter.
There is...
Stop. Right, so all of this thought and stuff is at the source of all matter. So therefore, if it's the source of all matter, it must exist, yeah? Okay, now let's watch this guy who's busy making Masonic hand signals, if you just bother to watch.
No matter as such. All matter originates and exists only by virtue of a force which brings the particle of an atom to vibration and holds this most minute solar system of the atom together.
So it doesn't exist, but it exists. Let's carry on.
We must assume behind this force the existence of a conscious and intelligent mind. This mind is the matrix of all matter.
So we must assume, we have no choice, we must assume behind this force the existence, so something exists now, of a conscious and intelligent mind. Well, that would be God, wouldn't it? You know, because he created everything. So he would be the conscious and intelligent mind. And he says this mind is the matrix of all matter. Well, yeah, God made everything. So if you want to say that God is the matrix, whatever that's supposed to mean, of all matter, then yes, that would be the case because God made everything. But let's hang on and listen to a bit more of this rubbish.
Conscious and intelligent mind. This mind is the matrix of all matter.
Raja seems like a good place to begin. The solidity of the world seems totally indisputable. As a fixed thing that you can see and touch, your body is also reassuringly solid. But beginning with Einstein, modern physics has assured us that this solidity is a mirage.
Right, so solidity is a mirage. Like I said, put your finger in the door, give it a little slam, not a hard one, and see whether or not it's real. Or if you like, you could try that with other parts of your body. Guys, yeah? You fancy trying that? I don't think that you do, because the fact of the matter is it's going to hurt. And there's certain things about your body and stuff that you really don't want to injure in any shape or form. So, of course, these people would tell you though that, but that's because you've got a golf ball sized brain. So why don't you just go ahead and slam your nether regions in the door? Well, don't, because, it's going to hurt and you're going to find that you're real, same as if you cut yourself, you're going to bleed. But these people are actually trying to tell you that you do not exist. And they're asking you to spread this far and wide. And if you don't believe them, you have a golf ball sized brain. Okay. Fine, if you want to say I've got a golf ball sized brain because I don't believe that if I slam bits of my body in the door or what have you, that's great. I don't mind. Yeah, say, golf ball sized brain, no problem with that, yeah. But you, of course, with the brain the size of a planet, yeah, do we see you doing that to yourself? No, because you might perceive the pain, which isn't really there. But you've got to remember what David Icke said. Once you step out of the realms, look, just get to the point here, okay? Everything about this stuff appears to be sun god worship, like the sun there that came up there, this sacred geometry, which is pagan New Age waffle. And David Icke, for instance, saying that first of all he's the son of God. Which God is he talking about? I've took issue with that before. Then saying he's received the Christ spirit, so everyone perceives what he's talking about. He's got the Jesus Christ spirit. Well, look, if you're going to get that in whatever way, you need to believe that Jesus Christ was raised from the dead and confess that, believe it in your heart and confess that with your mouth, like I did. I'm a born again Christian. I received salvation from Jesus Christ through his grace, through belief in him. The sin of the world is unbelief in me, said Jesus Christ. Okay, so David Icke is saying that he received the Christ spirit, and then he goes on to say that Christ and Apollyon are the same person. But Jesus Christ exposes Apollyon in the book of Revelation. So, here's the point. There is a way to expand your consciousness, okay, in regards to believing this nonsense here. And that, of course, is to take psychedelic drugs and drive yourself insane and think that you can fly and jump off of buildings, run in front of cars and what have you, or perhaps end up hurting other people. This is not acceptable, and I don't think that I need to say it's my opinion. It's simply not acceptable to reach out to people in such a way, because amongst society are people who are suffering from mental illness and stuff, and they hear this, they believe it. If people are pushing it upon them and forcing it upon them so forcefully and so snide in these kind of manners, some people may go ahead and do certain things to themselves or other people. So I find it unacceptable. And I think that what I've said here should be spread far and wide, and that if you think otherwise, that you're not real and that it's right to do this kind of thing, I would say that you have a golf ball sized brain. But these people would say, well, that's just how I'm perceiving it. Well, that's absolutely fine. I enjoy the way that I perceive things because I'm perceiving reality as it is. And these people, if, for instance, they wish to prove that they do not exist, then they themselves can go and do to themselves what they seem to be inferring to other people to do. I don't think that it's right. I think that this has now gone into the realms of cultism, where people are being led by people claiming that they are a God figure like Jesus Christ, and then being told that they're not real, etc., and that they can step out of this reality and the possibilities are boundless, and we reach then into more New Age magic, which is do as thou will, which is, again, is wrong. There was a festival, it still exists, called Saturnalia, and many years ago, back in Roman times and stuff, and beyond that even, all sorts of things were completely allowed, including murder. So there was no crime, basically, that you couldn't commit. You could do it, and it was absolutely fine. You could do as you will. Now, because we're reaching the stage now of the end times, when Christ will return, it seems that this is now being re-pushed in a different way. To me, that people are being told they're not real, that other people are not real, that nothing is real. If nothing is real, then nothing matters, does it? But it is real. It does matter, and I personally refuse to accept what these people are doing, and I refuse not to speak out about it, because there's people out there who are vulnerable and need to be protected from psychos who are in a cult. It looks like it's a cult because we've got people claiming that they are gods, teaching people that nothing is real, and that they can do anything that they want. Jump off buildings, harm other people, harm themselves. It's not real, you're just perceiving it. No, it is all real. If you jump off a building, you're going to die, you're going to be crippled, you're going to be crushed, you're going to end up in a psychiatric unit of a hospital. If you go and harm other people, the same thing's going to happen. You're going to end up being locked up with the psychopaths. If you hurt yourself, whatever you're going to do, you're going to find that you're going to be at the wrong end of the law, and you're going to be in a hospital bed or in a coffin being put 6 foot under. No, we are not an infinite consciousness based upon vibration, which is a hologram. And no, Jesus Christ and Apollyon the Destroyer are most certainly not the same person. And Jesus Christ loves you, and he made you, and he has a plan for you, and that plan is not for you to have your brains destroyed. And he's already given you that warning in the Bible about people who will mess with your mind with their fair speeches. It is all trickery, it is all hypnosis, the hypnotic music in the background and so forth in this, and the sun discs. It's all Apollonic, it is all wrong. And in the name of Jesus Christ, any of you that are listening to this stuff, stop. because you are real, and if you need to prove it to yourself, pop your finger in the door and give it a little slam, yeah, or give yourself a slap round the head. You need to wake up if you're listening to this stuff, seriously.